Background of the country: China, history and development. Ancient China. The first one is civilization dates back over 5,000 years centered around the Yellow River. And the second one is early dynasty, started with Xia dynasty, contributed significantly to technology, culture and governance. And the third one is prominent dynasty, Han, Tang and Ming. Han dynasty, golden age with advances in art, science and trade. And the second one is Silk Road established connecting China to Europe. And the third is spread of Buddhism from India, influencing Chinese culture and philosophy. 19th century challenges. The first one is internal conflict and external pressure, including the Opium Wars with Britain. The second one is territorial loss and unequal treaties with the Qing dynasty. The third is rebellions like the Taiping rebellions further destabilized China. And the fourth is Qing dynasty collapsed in 1912, leading to the Republic of China. 20th century transformation. The first one is civil war between nationalists and communists. The second one is People's Republic of China, established in 1949 by the Communist Party under Mao Zedong. And the third is significant social and economic changes, including the Great Leap Forward and Cultural Revolution with mixed outcomes.
A very good evening to sir. My name is Hasha Devi Vijay Kumar. I'm from class 22A. Today I would like to present about national cultural background for China country. Okay, China's rich and diverse cultural heritage is a testament to thousands of years of history, tradition and values that have shaped its identity and left a lasting impact on the world. From ancient philosophies to modern innovations, Chinese culture is multifaceted and reflects a deep rooted history that continues to influence society today. To Confucianism, a foundational element of Chinese culture, places great emphasis on moral values, family structure, and social harmony. Its principles have profoundly influenced Chinese society, governance, and also interpersonal relationship for countries, shaping societal norms and behaviors. The first cultural norms for Chinese is Taoism, another influential philosophy. Okay, Chinese life, including art, literature, and medicine, contributing to her holistic approach to well-being. Chinese art and literature are celebrated for their beauty, intricacy, and symbolism. Traditional Chinese painting, calligraphy, poetry, and opera reflect themes of nature, spirituality, and human emotion. These art forms not only serve as creative expression but also as important vehicles for preserving cultural heritage and transmitting values across generations. The second one is the Chinese language, which its complex characters and tonal variation is a reflection of the country cultural depth and linguistic diversity. It embodies history, philosophy, and worldview, serving as a bridge to understanding Chinese culture more deeply. And the third one is cuisine. Cuisine is another integral aspect of Chinese culture, characterized by its diverse flavors, ingredients, and regional variation. From the fiery dishes of Sichuan to the delicate dim sum of Guangdong, Chinese food reflects the country's vast language and culinary tradition. Mealtime customs such as sharing dishes, family style, and the importance of symbolism in food underscore the cultural significance of dining in Chinese society. The last one is traditional Chinese festivals, which is Chinese New Year, Dragon Boat Festival, and Mid Autumn Festival are occasion for family reunions, cultural rituals, and expression of heritage. These festivals are deeply rooted in Chinese history and mythology, offering insight into the country's customs, beliefs, and values. In contemporary China, rapid economic development and urbanization have led to cultural shift and challenges. However, efforts to preserve and promote traditional Culture remains strong with initiative to safeguard intangible cultural heritage and support artistic expression and also revitalize ancient practice. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Common norms in China. First is trade and commerce. In China, the concept of guanxi or building personal networks and relationship is a fundamental to business success. At the same time, respect to hierarchy is a deeply ingrained cultural norm in China's business practice. Decision-making process often involve multiple levels of management and require consensus, particularly in state-owned enterprise and large corporation. China is a global leader in digital innovation with advanced e-commerce platform, mobile payment system, and digital marketing strategy. Second is technology. The Chinese government actively support and incentivizes technological advancement through various policy and funding programs. Understanding and adapting to the local market is crucial for technology management in China. Chinese consumers have unique preference and behavior which require companies to tailor their product and service accordingly, and also the Chinese government has strict regulation concerning data privacy, cybersecurity, and internet content. The third is banking and finance. The organization in China set strict guidelines and policy to ensure the stability and integrity of the financial system. Next is Chinese bank and financial institution emphasize a customer-centric approach to service delivery. Last one but not least is collaboration with other financial institutions, technology firms, and international banks can provide access to new market, enhance technological capabilities, and foster innovation.
Morning sir, myself Lavanya Ratindran from 22A. My metric number is 2112402990. Today I would like to present about the common norms in China country in cross-cultural management. The first point I would like to present is healthcare. Healthcare is a patient-centered approach, prioritize respect for the patient expertise, requirement and value and preference. The second point of the healthcare is cultural competences and training of the healthcare staff to address the diverse patient needs. And the third point of the healthcare is to address the international standards such as World Health Organization, that is called WHO guidelines, and traditional Chinese medicine TCM principles. China has been aggressively implementing and modifying the foreign norms in its healthcare priorities, especially when it comes to the cross-cultural management. As it is a major participant in a global healthcare scene, in order to provide patients with top-notch treatment to meet their varied needs, both domestically and abroad, the adaptation is essential. China has been a more in the line with global healthcare standards in the best practices, particularly when it comes to the cross-cultural management. Similar to procedure to the Western nation, Chinese healthcare facilities prioritize the respecting patient expertise requirement and value the preference through the uses of the patient-centered approach. China has been actively adopting the foreign norms in the healthcare practices, particularly in the cross-cultural management, to provide the top-notch treatment and cater to diverse the patient needs, both domestically and internationally. The adaptation is crucial for meeting the global healthcare standards and best practices. The China is prioritized the respecting patient expertise requirement and value and preference. Through the patient-centered care and the healthcare, staff receive a cultural sensitivity awareness training to the better serve the diverse patient population. The country has been implemented in international standard healthcare, including those from the World Health Organization, and has been invested in digital to improve the patient care and the collaboration with the participants in foreign organizations to exchange the best practices and enhance the healthcare services. The second point I would like to explain in common norms of China is the environmental and sustainability. The China has been aggressively adopting the modification and international norms in environmental and sustainability practices, especially in the context of the cross-cultural management. The point that I want to explain is, the first point is empathize the ecological civilization construction and green development sustainability practices. The second point of the environmental and sustainability is implementation of ISO 14000 standards and sustainability of development goals, and that is called SDG of the country. The third point is focus on environmental protection and population reduction and renewable energy. In China is a major actor in global economic sustainability landscape. China district is cross-cultural and business practices has been significant impact to the environment and the sustainability in the nation. Comparating this conservation is essential to effective managing cross-cultural relationship within a framework of sustainability and the environmental. In order to guarantee the excellent environment in sustainable practice to meet the too many demand of the both domestic and foreign stakeholders, this adaptability is essential. China has been actively adopting and adapting the international norms in its environmental and sustainability practices, particularly in cross-cultural management, to ensure the excellent environmental sustainability practices to meet the demand of both domestic and foreign stakeholders. China has been implemented the ISO 14000 standard, which to provide the framework for managing environmental operation, and has been a significant step achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, that is called SDG of the United Nations. The country has been empathized the green development, deploying the environmental management system, that is called EMS, in various industry and focusing green to total factor of productivity. Additionally, China acknowledged about the value of the cultural competences in the environmental sustainable practices, expertising the importance of the understanding and honoring the cultural various of the requirements of stakeholders from the diverse origin is called is sustainability and development of the China country. And the last point of the common norms is labor and employment. The common norms of labor and employment are based on the strong emphasis on work-life balance, employee representation, and performance management. The second point of the labor and employment is cultural integration and localization strategy for the multinational enterprise. The third one is respect the traditional Chinese value and customs the workplace. China has been aggressively adopting and modifying the international standard practices, its labor and employment practices in China, especially in the context of the cross-cultural management. As a major player in the global labor and employment landscape, in order to guarantee the excellent labor and employment practices that meet the various interests on both domestic and foreign stakeholders, this adaptability is essential. The labor contract system in China is well defined and comprises the three primary contract types. The first is project based, and the second one is open ended, and third one is fixed term. Within 30 days of hiring, employer must given the employee written contracts. In the China, the employee contract may be terminated on the mutual consent by resigning from the employee by the employer for causes, or automatically following contract expiration or other specified situation. China has been actively adopting this adaptability in international standard practices in the labor and employment practices, particularly in cross-cultural management, to ensure the excellent labor and employment practices to meet the various interests in both domestic and foreign stakeholders. China country has been implement the international labor standards such as those established by the International Labour Organization, that is called ILO, and made the significant strides in promoting the work-life balance, the employee involvement, and the preventing discrimination. The China country has been empathized The importance of the cultural competency in the employment labor practices, acknowledging the significance to understanding the honoring the cultural variance and requirement of stakeholders in diverse of origins of the China. Last but not least, this common norms for China country is highlight the importance of the cultural sensitivity and the adaptability compliance of international standards in managing about the healthcare, environmental and labor practices in China country. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, today I will be discussing the unique short-term management orientation in China, a nation where cultural richness and rapid economic growth intersect to create a distinctive business landscape. China's dynamic corporate climate is deeply influenced by its rich culture history, unlike Western management system which often emphasize long-term planning. Chinese management practices prioritize immediacy and adaptability. Central to this approach is the concept of Guanxi, which refers to the intricate networks of relationships and social connection. These relationships are crucial in Chinese society and business, enabling swift decision making and effective navigation through complex regularity environments. This short-term orientation is shaped by a complex interplay of cultural, historical, and socio-economic factors. Culturally, Confucianism traditionally emphasized long-term harmony and social stability. Historically, the economic reforms initiated by Deng Xiaoping in the late 1970s created a strong push towards rapid economic development. Socio-economic factors in China's rapid economic growth over the past few decades has created a highly competitive business environment. In China, management often focuses on quick outcomes and immediate profits to maintain competitive advantages in a rapidly changing economic environment. This approach is influenced by various cultural and socio-economic factors. The first impact is cultural influences on short-term management. Traditionally, Chinese culture, rooted in Confucianism, values long-term relationship and stability. However, rapid economic reforms and industrialization over the past 2 decades has shifted some business practices towards a short-term perspective. Managers often prioritize quick wins and immediate results to meet performance goals and respond to market demands. Research from the Journal of International Business Studies shows that Chinese managers frequently employ strategies like cost cutting and aggressive marketing for immediate financial gains. The following impact is socio-economic pressures. The intense competition and unpredictable business climate in China drive the emphasis on short-term outcomes. As China's economy evolves, companies face constant pressure to innovate and outperform rivals. This results in a performance-oriented culture where quarterly and annual results are crucial indicators of success. Interviews with Chinese CEOs in the Harvard Business Review highlight that many managers focus on short-term gains due to shareholders' expectations and a highly competitive market. The third effect is comparison with Western management practices. When compared to Western management, significant differences emerge. In the United States and Germany, while short-term success is valued, there is a more balanced approach that includes long-term strategic planning. US companies often invest heavily in research and development to ensure long-term success despite short-term challenges. The Wall Street Journal notes that American firms prioritize innovation and long-term projects to maintain their market position over decades. Impact on the organizational behavior is the next impact of short-term management orientations in China. This short-term focus affects organizational behavior and decision-making in Chinese companies. Projects yielding immediate profits are often favored over those with longer gestation periods. According to the Asia Pacific Journal of Management, this can lead significant employee turnover as workers are pressured to achieve immediate results, often at the expenses of job satisfaction and long-term career growth. The final impact of short-term orientation is government influences in China. The Chinese government's involvement in business also fosters short-term viewpoints. Policies and incentives often promote rapid economic growth and immediate results, aligning with the national economic goals. Government-led initiatives like infrastructure projects are designed to provide quick economic benefits. The Journal of Contemporary China suggests that these government influences encourage enterprises to pursue short-term plans to align with policy directives and gain favorable treatment. In conclusion, understanding these cultural and socio-economic factors is crucial for engaging with Chinese firms or operating effectively in China. Embracing immediacy, leveraging relationships, and maintaining flexibility are key to navigating and succeeding in this dynamic market.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Anisa Azimah binti Mat Nazri and my matric number is 212400348. I would like to talk about the long-term orientation of China management. China is a very long-term oriented society. This ties in with Chinese people's drive to succeed in life. They are willing to preserve and work for a long time to achieve. Chinese people are not so much about instant gratification, and when they invest in things, it tends to be for the long term. Despite rapid modernization and globalization, traditional values such as hierarchy and cultural preservation remain important. The country's commitment to continuous learning and development is reflected in its emphasis on long-term preparation and education. Strategic planning and investment in human capital are prioritized over immediate skill acquisition to meet long-term objectives. In the Western, we are quite happy to carry on with things without needing to know what's going to happen next. But the Chinese people are the exact opposite. They need a structure and a plan and would prefer stability to adventure. Chinese people don't like taking risks, which is why it is so important to build Xing, which means trust, with them. The impact of long-term management in China, a concept deeply embedded in Chinese culture and business practices. Using Hofstede's cultural dimensions as a framework, we'll explore how this long-term orientation influences various aspects of Chinese society, particularly in business, social interactions, and personal relationships. One of the impact is emphasis on patience and perseverance in achieving goals. One of the key implications of China's long-term orientation is the strong emphasis on patience and perseverance in achieving goals. Historically, Chinese culture has placed significant importance on hard work, determination, and the willingness to endure obstacles in the pursuit of long-term success. In the business realm, this translates into companies adopting strategies that favor long-term growth and sustainability over short-term profits. Businesses focus on gradual market penetration, investing in strong networks and partnerships, and maintaining enduring relationships with stakeholders. This approach ensures that companies are resilient and can withstand the test of time. And the next implication is strong sense of continuity and tradition. China's long-term perspective also fosters a strong sense of continuity and tradition. The cultural emphasis on hard work, perseverance, and dealing with difficulties to achieve long-term satisfaction reflects a deep respect for tradition. Families and individuals in China are actually aware of the importance of cultural continuity, respecting the past while managing present challenges. This respect for tradition has contributed significantly to the preservation of cultural heritage and the promotion of sustainable security. The third implication is thriftiness and resourcefulness. Chinese companies are known for their ability to use resources efficiently and effectively, enhancing their competitiveness and profitability. This cautious and dynamic approach encourages creative and innovative problem solving. Rooted in a history of scarcity, Chinese culture places great emphasis on economy and energy conservation. This cultural perspective influences societal norms and behavior, leading individuals and organizations to prioritize actions such as saving for the future, reducing waste, and finding innovative solutions to problems. And that's all from me. Thank you.
For the recommendation, Confucianism and Taoism support the preservation and dissemination of Chinese art. Example like literature and language and emphasizes the significance of culinary traditions and festival in order to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of China's rich cultural heritage. These programs will raise international recognition of China's significant historical and cultural achievement by supporting artistic expression and protecting intangible cultural treasures. For cultivate long-term partnership, success requires utilizing digital and advancements, including CSR and sustainability, into corporate plan and staying up to date on local legal and regulatory compliance. Competitiveness in technology and finance will be fueled by a focus on R&D, talent acquisition, local market adoption, speed of execution, and strategic alliance. In order to maintain a sustainable growth, managers should strike a balance between short-term performance target and strategic long-term planning, in taking into account the cultural and socio-economic factors that influence short-term management. Government measures that are in line with short-term goals can have benefits and reduce regulatory obstacles. Lastly, for the conclusion, adopting international standards and best practice across various industries like trade, technology, finance, and healthcare, Chinese business and institutions have shown a willingness to adapt, evolve in response to shifting market dynamics and global trends through the adopting of principles like regulatory compliance, technological innovation, customer-centric services, and corporate social responsibility. Then, adapting to changing market dynamics through innovations, customer focus, and social responsibility. Also, demonstrating a commitment to long-term success by investing in talent, strategic alliance, and international norms. So, lastly, balancing tradition and innovation to meet global demands while respecting cultural diversity.